My name is Colin, the Freakshow Fletcher. I can't remember how old I am. My previous fight for BAMMA, I fought Tony Harvey from East 17. It was like Benny Hill. I ran around after him. Then he jumped up and knocked on the top of my head. How do you defend those? I'm working on it. I'll get there eventually.
My name is Micheal Brightmon. I'm 30 years old. I'm fighting out of Gorilla House and Absoluto Fighting Center. My record is 14-4. I'm about a 5-6 fight win streak. Feeling pretty confident, you know, just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. What I'm gonna do to Colin is I'm going to win. Wherever it takes to win, I'm going to win.
I'm gonna try and peel the skin off him and then roll him round in like some kind of sawdust. Is that in the rules? I'm allowed to do that. I'll have to look at the rules. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to do anymore.
So first to the cage here for our headline event at Victoria Warehouse BAMMA 17 is Micheal Brightmon, the Hawaiian, 30 years of age, the beast from the Gorilla House. Now, 14-4, Frank, but tellingly, as we said earlier, 4-fight win streak right through this year and late last year.
Improved well. I was talking about quality of competition. His quality of competition has been just a little bit above him every time that he fought, so he had to stretch and overreach every time he fight to get the 4 victories. He hasn't had an easy road. It hasn't been a bunch of tomato cans. These are guys who are just slightly better than him every time he stepped out, and he proved that he's able to handle it. Once again, he's stepping into a heat, a tough position to fight Colin Fletcher anywhere in the UK. It doesn't make a difference where it is, but anywhere in the UK, Fletcher's always going to be the hometown hero. It's tough to fight him inside of BAMMA because this is really his home. He feels the most comfortable. Colin Fletcher's fought a lot of different places, but BAMMA's where he feels the most comfortable. Brighton is up in a huge uphill battle. Not saying he can't do it, because we all know that Colin lately has been wanting to stand in front of people and throw. If he wants to keep doing that, he's going to get hit hard by Brighton and get put down.
Well, the thing with Brightmon, you said he hasn't had an easy road, and when you look at it, even with his wins, 9 decisions, going the distance, he's had to work for his victories.
I like the fact that every time he comes in, he's in better shape than the time before. It goes a long way to saying how hard he trains.
So all we've got to wonder now, Frank, is what Colin the Freakshow Fletcher has got for us. So Frank, he never disappoints us. Bad to the bone, George Thorogood.
First concert I ever went to, my older brother Warren, was at Darien Lake in upstate New York, was George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers.
This is what we said, you can't help but love the man. He's infectious, isn't he? And I don't mean like a rash.
Everything that he does, well, he's kind of like a fungus. He's not quite a rash, but everything that he does, it's all about entertaining the fans, and it's like it really is his alter ego. It's just something he wants to do. He's not like this at home with his family, not like this with his wife and his kids. It's just this is Colin Fletcher, the fighter, is who you're seeing.
Now I know you love him and he frustrates you in equal measure because everything for the fans, everything for the entertainment, makes some of his decisions make you want to tear your beard out.
I mean, he had the perfect opportunity to shoot a bunch of takedowns his last fight out and stop because every 7 punches were hit, 1 of every 7 was hitting. There's almost saying my feet keep striking. but it became a split decision when it could have been an easy, decisive victory by getting takedowns and landing the spot. Pierce wouldn't do it. He frustrates me so much because he has all the talent in the world and makes bad in-ring decisions that are easily coachable.
To be fair to him, he lives with them. He said to me today when we met him earlier in the afternoon, but Malcolm, that's me. I do these things. It's me.
It keeps him up at night. It really does. And he really weighs over it, but he's getting so much better because he's starting to learn from his own mistakes, and that's a man that you really want to get behind, is a guy that will learn all the mistakes he's made in the past.
So here's the headliner and the tail of the tape. The Freak Show, you can see the huge height advantage. Age, they're roughly the same. Experience, very the same. But will Fletcher use that height and reach and that ground game to frustrate Brightmon? We're going to find out now.
Manchester Arena, Victoria Warehouse, Manchester. BAMMA fight fans, get ready. It's main event time. We are ready for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. This bout sponsored by Lonsdale with Lonsdale London. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, an all-rounder. He stands in at 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 155.6 pounds with a record of 14 wins, 4 losses, and 0 draws, with 9 wins by way of decision. Representing Absoluto Fighting Center and Gorilla House, Romania, by way of Hawaii, the Beast, Micheal Brightmon. And his opponents, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai specialist with an unorthodox style. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 155.2 pounds. He has a record of 10 wins, 4 losses, and 0 draws, with 7 of those wins by way of submission. Representing Unity Gym, Spartan Gym, and Fight Pit, all the way from Sunderland, the UK's favorite clown, Colin Freakshow Fletcher! When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So Frank, it almost seems like deja vu from his last fight with the split decision. The height difference, the stocky nature of his opponent. I wonder if the fight will pan out the same way. Incredible. But that's the great thing about Fletcher. You just never know, do you?
He is the anomaly within the anomaly of an enigma. It's like, I'm on pins and needles because you never know what's going to happen the first 10 seconds.
So here we go, the main event, the headliner here at Victoria West, and he starts with a big right hand, the Freak Show. Oh, and takes one as well. What a start, wow. Frank.
Both guys are going to throw heavy, but the thing is, Fletcher's got cardio that can go a lot late, and Brighton doesn't have the cardio to go later.
Well, Brightmon is a man on a mission at the moment with those heavy shots against his taller opponent. It's the right thing to do, close the gap and get in close. But will the Freak Show take him down now, Frank? Or is it the other way round?
Nice twisting change. Good position, but are you really safe now with Colin that doesn't like to be here? If he doesn't want to be on his back, he's not going to stay on his back. He's very difficult to hold. You spend a lot of energy holding him in this position, and you have no way to get to a submission.
And look at the flexibility of the Freak Show as well. Look at the way he got out of that, Frank. And he almost took the arm as well.
Right into an armbar after flipping over from being mounted from north-south choke. He's doing a great job already, but now, see how he's stopped moving his legs. He's kind of taking his time now. He'll close his guard for a little bit and rest here. And this is when the problem starts to happen for Collins, because he starts to get complacent, because it's very difficult to hit a guy that's this tall through the torso. There's no way that Brent's going to hit him in the face.
So let's look at the other side of that coin. Brightmon's decision after such a good stand-up and throwing bombs to take him here. What do you make of that?
Well, the obvious position is to get inside and start to punch as much as he can. He got hit as much as he gave, and so I think he was wondering if he might get knocked out in that spot. So let me take him down to the ground and get side with takedown pass, perfect position. Not realizing when you get Colin in the side position, he's immediately going to put you north-south and then flip out.
And picking up on that, I think Brightmon realized that maybe it is safer up here for me.
Well, Colin, one of those punches that Colin caught, he got hit in the bridge of his nose. He is bleeding.
Yes, he's breathing just below the eye on the bridge of the nose. And Brightmon does look dangerous with those swings. Nice duck from the Freak Show, and he needed to. Brings a knee in as Brightmon throws the punches again, just misses with the second one. Okay. And I want to pick you up on something, Frank. When you talk about cardio, looking at Brightmon, he's already sort of open mouth.
He's already falling apart, and that's what I was about to say, that he's spending every one of his punches is 100%. He's trying to get a knockout blow with one punch. And as a result, if you miss or they get blocked, you waste a ton of energy.
So the Freak Show choosing his shots more than his opponent, who still looks very dangerous. Those hooks are hard and heavy, and the good job the Freak Show's moving and moving his head, but he's still catching a lot of them, Frank.
Even the ones that are blocking are still getting through because they're being thrown with so much ferocity. Now it's a question of, can Brent keep this pace and his cardio up through into the second round if he gets that far, and can Colin weather the storm until he starts to fade?
Well, again, I think one thing that I said to Colin before the fight is, you don't need to prove to anyone about your stand-up now. It's solid. We know this.
It's amazingly solid. But his defense now needs some work because he is getting cracked quite a bit.
Yes.
But his offense has gotten improved tremendously. Now let's get back down to the ground where this is the best place to win and take the least amount of damage.
He's cut above the eye as well on the right eye now, Frank. He's cut below the left and above the right. For me, I want to pick up on something you said earlier because I totally agree. Brightmon looks like he could take Colin out of here in the first round if one of these really does land. But then you wonder if he doesn't, how long he can go in the second.
I honestly believe that he's going to start to fade coming in the second and he'll fall apart. But the damage could already be done to Colin. He's taking so many punches. Headshots take a lot of your energy away. He could be fading as well now because he's taking so many headshots. Smart. See, now he's realizing he's getting hit too much. He's got to change the game up, get back inside and start making a grappling match. And
you said to me beforehand when we were talking about this very fight, it's all right to entertain, but where does that stop and where do you think about the win? What do you want from your career is what you said to me.
Personal damage, too. I mean, you got to think about the long-term effects. It's all coming out now, like this long-term effect of personal damage. And Colin has the ability not to take damage because he's a good grappler.
Well, that hurt him. A superb kick. It hurt, but Brightmon, you're right, to the midsection, right across the bows there. Ducks under these two. That's better from the Freak Show.
Now he's seeing the timing, he's seeing them coming. Brian's got to start switching up his punches. He can't throw a bunch of hooks anymore. He's got to switch up and go some uppercuts that really offset Colin.
And the variety is coming from the Freak Show. He gets the knees in as well. And I thought it was a very even opening, but as the round's gone on, I feel you've got to go with the Freak Show.
He's starting to take the pace, he's starting to push it, but there's so much damage being done. And you look at the amount of punches that were thrown and which ones did real damage. Brighton did so much more damage with his punches and got the initial takedown.
So you heard what Frank said. So overall then, Frank, across the full round, your thoughts?
You know, this was difficult for me because, you know, if I say Colin, I'm biased because I always want to pick Colin. But what I really see there is that Brighton did more damage. He pushed the pace more. I have to give that round to Brighton 10-9.
With those sort of punches, Frank.
You see that, you know, those are the ones who are cutting them. Like they're being thrown with everything.
You're right, that was the cutting punch there. So you're going with the power and accuracy. That was a good shot in reply from Colin, but you feel possibly too little too late within that round.
Yeah, I have to give it, I'm gonna give this round to Brighton. And then, but now we're, like we said, we're worrying about a cardio condition. Come here and, you know, within 10 seconds, we're back in the round again. Is that enough time to recuperate and recover? The amount of power that you're throwing out there, the way that Brighton does it, where Colin's throwing, he's throwing power, but he's taking his time with it first.
So that's the conundrum facing us as we approach round two. Fletcher still looks fresh, to be fair. As you said, he's taken big shots, he's been marked up, he's been cut. But towards the end of the round, there were signs that he was just beginning to start the momentum going, wasn't there?
You know, and then you have that 1 minute break. Yes, Malcolm, that is exactly what happened. But now you have that 1 minute break where it gives you a chance to recuperate. So now you got to wait the next 45 seconds of this round.
What I do like, though, with those first two big hooks, Fletcher started to move his head, started to duck them, so he's thinking defensively as well, and is more aware at the beginning of this second round because those two big hooks would have landed in that opening round. And again,
look how far out Brighton is now. He's backed up another full foot.
And
before, he was right inside. Every time Colin threw something, it was a jamming punch. He wasn't at the length of it. Now he's right in Colin's wheelhouse. He put himself backed away from Colin to take a little bit of a breather, but it's right where Colin's end of his punches and kicks are.
And you see how he keeps ducking as well, Frank. It's a big difference in this round from the Freak Show. Much more alert and aware of the power of this man, because it's still there and he's a danger, as you can see. But there's good movement now from the Freak Show and total awareness in this second round. And that kick's a winner for him across a man that's tiring, across that midsection.
Michael slowed down, he's backed off. Colin has picked it up, gotten more confident.
Yes, it's a range thing, you're right, for Brightmon. And there'll be frustration as well now, because he was seeing those land in the first round. But again, we talk about the cutting nature of the punches, but what about the power? Because we've got 9 decisions from those 14 wins. And if he fights this style, it does say that there's maybe not a one-punch knockout within him. Oh, you hear the crowd respond to that, Frank.
Yeah, he caught him in his stomach with a nice knee and then backed off. You know, he thought it didn't hit, but it hit flush, and you saw Brightmon bend over.
Oh, and he wobbled from the head kick as well. The shin landed to the forehead, and Brightmon wobbles again. Big second round so far for the Freak Show. And the crowd are responding here at the Victoria Warehouse. Packed house tonight, incredible atmosphere. And the Freak Show is giving them a show here in the second round.
And once again, he's settled.
That midsection, he softened it up earlier, Frank. And now he's going for the kill. But that was softened up twice before that front push kick.
Great positional change by Colin, using his long length and his long ability to kind of get himself set in a good position.
And there's the maneuverability of that long frame of his at the weight, 6'2" at that weight.
Brightmon has nowhere to go. Every time he turns, there's another appendage coming at him.
Well, that was an elbow this time, Frank. And we saw previously with those, he changed the kicks to the midsection, and it really struck home with Brightmon.
Brightmon does not like to be in this position. You see, he stopped moving his legs, he stopped moving his hips. All he's trying to do now is hold on.
And a downward elbow. Oh, how many more of these will he take? How many more of these will Mark let him take? This is the headline event. He's giving him every opportunity. And the Freak Show in ascendancy now. Oh, and that's cut. His eye is cut this time.
Yeah.
These elbows are almost undefended now.
Oh, and he's got a huge lump across his far eye, too. Now there's a cut, but there's a huge hematoma.
Every single one of these elbows is starting to land, and Mark Goddard getting closer now. Getting much closer as he looks at the face of Brightmon.
Wow. Good job by Colin, picking his pace, finding elbows to land, taking his time. He's not throwing a bunch all at once. He's trying to find ones that are going to finish the fight.
Well, he's still got a minute, Frank. There's still opportunity here. Mark Goddard looking closely at Brightmon. And as you said, that eye is looking a mess now.
See how Colin's got his knee up high across his butt in the half guard. He's doing it in a position where no matter which way Brightmon goes, if he can't see it, he can feel him move his hips so he can follow him right away.
Well, gutsy performance from Brightmon. A lot of men would have given up, but I think Mark Goddard's looking now. And he's saying, defend yourself. He's telling him.
He's doing a good job. He's pushing Colin off. He's turning the corner. He still is defending himself.
Yes, he's been given every opportunity, and as you said, he's taking it. So it shows his mind is still there. But this has been a totally dominant round now for the Freak Show. And you just wonder how much is left for Micheal Brightmon, or whether even the corner will retire him at the end of this.
You know, this round is a 10-8 for sure, possibly a 10-7 for Colin, because it could have been finished a couple different times. You know, we wouldn't have faulted Mark Goddard at all for stepping in and stopping this fight. I can very easily see a couple of judges make this a 10-7.
Well, he very sportingly, the moment the buzzer went, he was up and off. But for me, Brightmon, as you said, incredible guts, always looking. Right call, Mark gave him every opportunity and he took it. But as his corner, would you send him out for the third?
I don't know. I don't know them personally, so it's tough for me to say. But Mark Goddard called the doctor in right away. to have him take a look at it. He didn't wait. Usually you wait to the end of the break, then they call the doctor in then. Mark called the doctor in right away. Mark believes that it's going to be one of those. Mark,
I think it's over, Frank.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
Mark thinks it's one of those things where he's going to stop it. Like he doesn't want it to continue. So he called the doctor to come in and take a look at it.
The doctor's talking to him. Brightmon's shaking his head. I think he wants to continue. But it's over. It's all over.
His corner called it. His corner took the towel in.
I had a feeling they might, Frank, and I think that was compassionate after the amount of time he was on his back with those elbows.
I didn't want to get on my soapbox, but I have a real problem right now with the way that corners are letting their fighters go out there and keep taking a beating. So when he asked me if I was your corner, if you were in my corner, what would you do? Because I tend to get on the soapbox about how fights should be stopped by corners a lot more because it's so dangerous.
And do you know what? He really earned that in the second round. All credit to him. A different man in the second, ducking and diving, avoiding the hooks, and then when he got the chance to punish, he was ruthless.
He took his time, was very, very patient, threw the elbows when he saw the opening, and just waited until it was, eventually he knew that Mark was going to be able to stop it. And unfortunately this time, it was just the bell rang, and then Mark was able to stop it.
Yes, a hug for a real gutsy performer there, but it's only one way this victory now for the Freak Show. So let's get the official announcement now from our MC.
This bout ended at the second round due to the corner retirement from the blue corner. Your winner by TKO in the red corner, Colin Freakshow Fletcher!
So, how was that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Your patience has improved, your striking has improved. I haven't seen you grappling in about 20 years because you don't use it anymore. Is there a reason why you're staying away from the ground?
No, to be honest with you, I initially had a takedown. The second round, I was going to kind of try to tire him out a little bit and then maybe look for a few more takedowns, but opportunity arose and I ended up in top half guard. Just thought I'll relax here rather than burn myself out putting loads of shots in. I thought I'll pick some shots and looks like it worked.
There was a point there where you're throwing a bunch of elbows and you slowed down a little bit. Did you think that Mark was going to step in and stop it very quickly?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I kind of respected the caliber of Micheal, so I was a little bit cautious, but I tried to be a little bit more reckless at times as well, so that kind of led us into having a bit of a tricky first round with him. But it was fun, you know what I mean? So I kind of wrote off the first round and thought I'm going to cement this second round, whether it had to be with takedowns or whatever. The opportunity arose, so I ended up finishing the round on top. And I was pretty much planning on doing the same kind of thing in the third, but I didn't have to, thankfully.
You got cut pretty bad in the beginning of the first round. He was throwing very, very big haymakers. Were you in the middle of your head going, I got to weather this guy's storm because I know he's going to wear out?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he was very, very strong and very, very tough. And I am a little bit stupid, so I do tend to take a shot. You know what I mean? But that's just part of my style, you know what I mean? I like to be in a bit of a fight. If I'm not in a bit of a fight, I pretty much sometimes don't get going. So hats off to him for kind of bringing it to us. I had fun, I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too.
I enjoyed it tremendously. Ladies and gentlemen, did you like that fight? Your winner, again, Colin Freakshow Fletcher.